G'day and welcome back. I've had a job come in from a mate of mine, Cole. Known Cole for a lot of years. A hell of a nice bloke. He certainly put me out of my comfort zone, but we're going to have a crack at it. Cole bought a Kubota tractor many years ago, and I actually floated it to his house for him back in the day. Decent sized Kubota. It's got a front bucket on it, all the gear. He's going to get me to re-rod the tilt cylinder for the bucket. Now this is way out of my comfort zone. I've never done anything like this before, but I'm willing to have a crack. What's the worst can happen? It fails. It's about the only thing can happen, and he's not too concerned. He said, if it fails, we'll try again. So I've got it in the press. I've got the nut off the end of the cylinder cracked, so I've got to pull it apart and measure up all the seals and so on, and try and source some seals for it. So there's what I can work out. These cylinders are like just a generic cylinder, generic ag cylinder. So the seals should be pretty readily available, I hope. Then I've got to source some chrome bar and then machine it, and hopefully it don't leak. We'll go over the press. I'll get it stripped apart and make a start on it. It's going to be interesting. Okay, so this is what we got. Excuse the mess down there. This is sort of, everyone thinks they've got a clean workshop. Well, that just proves that it's not clean. This is a cylinder, pretty generic ag cylinder from what I can gather. They've extended the back of it to suit application, obviously. I'll bring this down. It's hard to pick up on camera, I'd say. In the light, you can see there's marks on the chrome. It's got wear, definitely got wear. There's a chip in the chrome here that's been chewing out the seal, and it's like Cole gurneyed it off. But apparently it's starting to weep pretty bad. While it was still on the tractor, Cole cracked the nut and got the nut loose. So what I got to do is just pop the rod out, and then measure up the bore, measure the piston up, and try and source some seals and a piece of rod. We'll see how we go with that. I might just put that on a couple of turns, and when I pull it out, it won't fall completely on the floor. It's handy having a press. Come on. There we go. I have to try and crack that nut as well, which will be tight. And it doesn't look like there's going to be much machining required either. We're going to have a good look inside the bore now and see if that's damaged at all, and run from there. I'll try and get you guys a good look in there. It don't look too bad. Okay, see how we go here. Don't know how glary that's going to be, but shaking like a shitting dog. But there's no bad scoring that I can see. It looks pretty darn good. So what I'll do now, I'll tape all this end up, seal it up, and the fittings. Take this out, then I'll put the rod in and try and crack that nut on the end of that. Yep, plenty of Loctite. That's what was holding it. Now it's a matter of getting that piston off. Okay, so I took these seals off and thankfully they've got numbers on them. So that was a bonus. This here piston was absolutely dead tight and was actually Loctited on there. Just had to put a little bit of heat around it just to break that Loctited touch. And the piston looks in good nick, hasn't hurt it. That was tight. That was tight. So I'll clean this down now. It's pretty clean as it is, and I'll pull that flange assembly off. So we got two O-rings here. I don't think they're together, they're two separate O-rings. Wiper seal and another seal down in there. So I've got the number off this seal, which is a bonus. And I'm hoping this one down here's got a number on it too, but anyway, I'll do a bit of looking around and see how I go. They come apart way easier than what I thought in the end. All the seals have turned up, chrome bars turned up. To say I'm a little bit nervous to do this job is a bit of an understatement. I only brought enough to do, I didn't buy an extra length just in case I do screw it up. I've gone through and checked the seals, they're exactly the same brand, everything's spot on. This chrome bar is about 15mm over length, so I'm going to go to the lathe, part the eye off the old rod. I'm hoping there's a spigot in there. It's going to take a little bit to get there. I did order a new 12mm button tool. It's on back order, believe it or not. So I just have to go in and just use what I've got. But yeah, I am pretty nervous about this one because I've never done something like this, and this bar's not cheap. I've gone ahead and put a centre in the end of the eye just to support it, and when I go to push the eye onto the new rod, I've got somewhere to push on. Okay, got a new insert. I want to go in and smooth this weld down, so when I go in with the parting tool, it's not an interrupted cut. So far so good. So I haven't gone back any further than what they did previously on there. So I'll swap over for the parting tool and try and find that spigot. It looks like it hasn't got a spigot on it. Looks like it was just plain welded on there. The reason I've done that, I'm down to 11mm. If there is no spigot on this, I'm going to take it down to 10. Hopefully there's one there at 10mm. If there is no spigot, then I need about 20mm to form the spigot. I'm going to go in with a parting tool and just take it down to 10. Afraid there is not a spigot on this. there's no spigot, so I've formed a spigot 10mm, 20mm long. So when I do the new rod, it'll be it'll have just over a 20mm hole drilled in it, and the spigot will be pushed in to the length we need. So there, yes, when we get the overall length. So I'm just going to part this off now, nearly all the way through, and then I'll break the last bit off. Okay, I'm going to bust the rest of that off. It's off now. Take that out, put the new rod in very carefully. I'm going to use some Coke can for some shims to protect the chrome. I've heard that works pretty good. Okay, I've got to move this out, so I've got at least about 2 3/4 inches, so I can machine the thread and the portion down to where the piston fits on. Right, now I've swapped out for the 4 jaw. That 3 jaw I got, it's absolute shit. Okay, 2.5 inches from this end here has to be down to 1 inch. Has to have a 1 inch thread put on it. So I'll just start whittling this away. Okay, I've just had a visitor for a couple of hours, so this has to be 1 inch. About 35 thou to come off. I ain't going to complain about that. That's it. There's no play at all. It's a nice sliding fit. Now there has to be a thread put onto that, and I've got to break these edges just fractionally too. That sort of replicated what the old one was like. So now I've got to turn 1 inch by 12 TPI thread on this portion here, 1.25 inches long. I've just changed around the change gears, or set up to metric, so it's good enough for me. And I'm just going to take my time on this thread, because there's only one chance at it. Okay, after all that, I got that thread done. So in theory, the piston should still go on, and don't drop every blasted thing. There we go. This end of the rod's finished. On the old rod, the chamfer on this section here, quite a bit more than what I've got there. So you can see the chamfer they've got. So I might increase this one a bit more. I thought that would have been enough, but the more I think about it, I might just make it a bit more like this. So when I go to slide the wiper seal or the top flange, it'll go in there a lot easier. Righto, everything on this end's done. So this can come out now, turned around, and bring the shaft to final length with the 10mm bore in the end for the spigot. His old mate needs an exhaust in that, doesn't he? That'd be embarrassing to drive it down the road. Thankfully there's no marks. I'm pretty happy with that. Now I have to make this bar the right length. So I measured the old bar before I cut it all off. So from this bottom of this ball to this shoulder, whether you can just see it, has to be 561. So we have 574. I've got 13mm to remove off it. I just covered the end of that masking tape so when I go up into the spindle it's not going to mark that chrome. I went back off camera. I had to take 13mm off in total. I took 10, took it back out, checked it, and there was about 2.5mm to come off, so I put it back in and done that. The eye's back in the end, and we are exactly 561mm, which is the measurement I took before I removed the eye. So I'm right on the money. So what I've got to do now is put a weld prep on this corner. While it's in the lathe, cover all the ways up, and I'll tack it in place. Then I'm going to get my young fella to weld it up. I'll get him to weld it up and then we can assemble this cylinder back together. I've put the 3-jaw back up, stuffed around with it a bit and got it to run pretty true again. I've put a mark here. I'm not going to go any further than that for the weld prep, and just going to do it by eye. And that is it. That will do. I've got to tack this in situ now. That's tacked on good enough. I'm going to take that out to the young fella and get him to weld it up for me. Now I've wrapped some solo can around there, so it just protects the chrome when he welds it. I've just rang Cole, the fellow I'm doing this one for. He actually went and bought the proper tool to squash these seals down to get them in that pocket. So he's on his way down now. Okay, so we've got this 3-piece seal. Just should put the rubber on it. This rubber's going to be tight to get on. Freaking dunny budgies hanging around. Must be getting warm weather. Oh, man, that is a tight seal. There we go. There's no rolls in that seal, which is good. So that's the piston done. Okay, Cole's bringing down some tools. Put these seals in.
Slip. Go around and lock for you.
Slip, you little fucker. We're in.
A very necessary tool. You'd never get them in by hand, I don't know.
I did try and put them in there before, and I wasn't strong enough in the fingers to hold it. So now we've got to put the wiper seal in. I'm going to put a touch of Loctite on that one, just so it can't come out. Well, that is home. Kyle thinks I nearly hit my finger, but I was a mile off it. Okay, I've just put them two backup seals on there, or the O-ring and then the backup. The seals in, the inner seals in. So now I've got no seals left. Now I've got to put this on the piston, lock the nut up, and put it back together. It's probably a little bit dark over in this corner, but ready to slide this seal on without doing any damage. Wiper seal's working. Piston's on, the nut's ready to go on. I'm going to use a little bit of green 680 Loctite. Got a torque wrench set to 600 foot-pound, and just going to sand it home.
See it.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah, I reckon that's it.
It was on the pin. On the pin.
It ain't coming undone. It's time to do the giveaway for the tailstock die holder. Today is Wednesday. The video comes out tomorrow night. I'm going in for chemo tomorrow, that's why I've done it this evening. It's about 7 o'clock. Yeah, 7:15 Wednesday night. One thing I didn't mention in the last week's comment, which I'm a dick, is a couple of guys said that they weren't going to enter the competition because they had a Morse taper 2 arbor, not Morse taper 3. I did tell them guys to go back, edit their comment and put the word HAFCO in. If you win this and you want a Morse taper 2 arbor, I'm happy to build you a Morse taper 2 arbor and send you this one as well. So if you ever update your machine or whatever, you get a bigger one, then you've got this already there. So if you win it, let me know and I'll make you a Morse taper 2 arbor as well. Whoever wins this will also have a choice of a hat or a beanie. And Beck and I were talking. She said, why don't you do two giveaways? Whoever's name comes out second will also get the choice of a hat or a beanie as well. Brand new, never been worn. They're not second hand. So I do like to buy the decent beanies, the 3M. They're like an insulated beanie. They're really nice. Every time I get one, it seems to disappear. And the hats are really good too. I've been flogging them for a long time now, and they hold up really well. I'll spin the camera around and I'll bring up the video. I'll show you so it's all legit, exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so we got last week's video. I'll copy the link. It's copied. Pick a winner. Paste it. The link, that is. Fetch the comments. Before I do that, I've got to put in the keyword. Here we go. HAFCO. Does help if you spell it right, eh? HAFCO. Continue. Now it's loading all the comments. Now we pick a winner. Forrest. Okay, he's wrote DRO, sure. Then you will be really spot on. So I'll take a photo of his name. If you can send me an email, I'll include my email. It'll be in the description. Plus it'll be on the screen here probably somewhere. So we want to pick one more winner. Jason Rogers. So Jason, you got the choice of either a hat or a beanie. I'll take a photo of his name as well. I get a buzz out of giving stuff away, and especially when I give stuff that I've made away. I really enjoy it. And congratulations to the winners. Again, if you can just send me an email, as soon as I get your address, I'll chuck them in the post and get them out to you. I'll probably throw a couple of stickers and so on in there too. So anyway, thanks again everyone who commented. Good news on the DRO. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, and I haven't got a black eye. That's even better. I hope you guys enjoy your prizes. Much appreciated. Thanks guys. I'm not going to be able to show much of setting this back in, just the way I can't get the camera in a decent spot. So Colin and I are just going to slip this piston back in. Righto, after a bit of heaving and howling, we got that in. That seal was really, really tight. Now just got to slide that flange in and do the nut back up. And I've got a tiny weld. This is coming off here. Kyle wants me to put a tiny weld on there. Okay, so it's in. We've got the flange in. We just got to place this nut on now. Get that started, get that done up, and then this cylinder's finished. Righto, so we got this nut done up. It's up tight, and we got the caps on the end up there, sealing it off, but it slides in and out real nice. So that's this job complete. It's been a mission, but it's been a good one.
One happy bloke.
Yeah, we got one happy Cole. Well, that was a job that's just gone out the door, and Cole's really, really happy. When Cole dropped that cylinder down, he said he'd ordered a C-spanner to put that big end flange back on and screw-on cap. And he ordered this the 3-piece hydraulic cylinder piston rod U-cup installation tool for putting the folds of seal up so you can get it inside the flange. He said they're not for me, he said they're for you, so he's kindly give these to me as well. There's a full set, so small, medium and large. So very appreciative of those. They will come in handy on future jobs. And it looks like I may have a steer cylinder at some stage to do for Cole as well. Yeah, that was a really good job, and I'm glad Cole come down today, because getting the piston with the new seal started in the cylinder on my own, I would have been battling on my own. It's pretty tight, but with Cole giving me a hand, we got it pretty good in the end. It went pretty easy. Yeah, that was a really interesting job. I actually thoroughly enjoyed doing that cylinder. It's something I've never done before. yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a few more because they're different to a lot of other jobs. You work into a fine tolerance and there's no room for error. Like I had no extra rod if I did screw that one up, which puts another bit more of a challenge to it. But yeah, no, nailed it in the end. I'm really happy. And big thanks to my young fella for welding that eye back on the end. He done a really, really nice job of that. I hope he's enjoyed that video. And I know I glanced over a few bits at the end, but just getting it done, and Colin and I had a good laugh while we we're doing it. So yeah, that was the main part. Anyway, I hope he's enjoyed. I don't know what I'm doing next week now. I really don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. Righto guys, hope you enjoyed and I'll see you later.